When the average Toronto Hydro customer receives their hydro bill, most go straight to the bottom line. How much is my bill? Is it higher or lower than last month? If it's lower, customers are happy. This means the kids are listening to orders to turn off lights, spouses aren't cranking the heaters and air conditioners, and laundry is being washed during off-peak hours. If it's higher, naturally people are concerned. Why is my bill so expensive? Who is responsible for this increase? If a family member has inflated electricity consumption since the last household bill, then they'll surely hear about it, and at the very least, be reminded to turn off lights and so forth. But if a household's consumption remains the same, and the reason for the increase is due to rising electricity costs, well, an explanation is in order. Many consider electricity to be an essential service and feel it should be affordable. When electricity rates are rising, some people point to the utility that sends them the bill. After all, where do all of our hard-earned electricity dollars go? But did you know that most of the things that drive electricity prices in Toronto don't come from Toronto Hydro? Part of the confusion and resulting frustration can be traced back to the complexity of the electricity bill. But to fully understand the bill, you have to understand how the electricity system is set up in Ontario. By the time electricity arrives on the doorstep of a Toronto Hydro customer, it has traveled a very long way. It's been produced by the generation companies, passed on to the province's electricity transmitter, who carries it across long distances, and only then is it picked up by Toronto Hydro, who delivers electricity to more than 700,000 customers in the city. So let's talk about what's going on in Toronto's grid. Toronto is growing, especially in the downtown core. This means that a lot more electricity is being used. Our grid needs more room to accommodate the towers of condos under construction downtown and to plan for future growth and development. Toronto Hydro is responding by constructing a $195 million underground transformer station near the CN Tower. This marks the first new station downtown since 1955. At the same time, Toronto Hydro's electricity grid is aging, and this is impacting our service reliability. Approximately 40% of all power outages in the city are caused by aging equipment. To deal with this challenge, Toronto Hydro is working hard to replace infrastructure that is past its useful life. Over the last couple of years, Toronto Hydro has executed the largest construction programs in the company's history, replacing approximately 1,800 kilometers of aging lines, more than 17,000 old poles, and more than 14,000 transformers. Since 2006, we've invested approximately $2 billion to modernize our distribution equipment. But even after all of that construction, almost 50% of our equipment still needs to be replaced over the next 10 years. And there's a price tag associated with these upgrades, somewhere in the range of $5.6 billion overall. Which brings us back to the bill. A Toronto Hydro bill includes a lot more than the utilities distribution charges. It also covers the cost of generating, transmitting, and maintaining Ontario's grid. You might be surprised to know that Toronto Hydro does not earn a profit for collecting these amounts on behalf of provincial electricity suppliers. The money you pay is passed directly along to these other companies. In the end, Toronto Hydro's portion of the overall bill is about 26%. The good news is that your electricity dollars are working for you. Toronto Hydro uses that 26% to pay for all of the things it has to do to get electricity safely and reliably to our customers. In addition to the significant investments needed to build and maintain Toronto's grid, it covers the company's necessary operating costs like staff and facilities. So inevitably, rates are rising. But by how much? Well, a typical residential customer on time-of-use rates can expect an increase of approximately $5 per month. 55% is going to the generation of electricity. About 16% is going towards Ontario's smart meter data system. And about 14% is going to transmission and regulatory costs. Just 15% of that rate increase goes to Toronto Hydroelectric System, and that's only about 75 cents. Essentially, you're buying into a reliable electricity system not just for Toronto, but for the province of Ontario as a whole. While no one likes rising costs, we're paying for reliability to support our future grid, with the power to energize electric vehicles, new electronic gadgets, more commercial and residential development projects, a growing population of Torontonians, and ultimately, the connected lifestyle we all enjoy.